We're doing lesson 4 in the quarterly, in the last days, the message of Hebrews, and the title is Jesus, Our Faithful Brother. In the first 2 paragraphs, it's focusing on Jesus as kinsman redeemer. In the first 2 paragraphs in Sunday's lesson, reads, "The law of Moses stipulated that when a person was so poor that he had to sell his property or even himself in order to survive, he would receive that property or his liberty back every 50 years on the Jubilee. The Jubilee year was a grand Sabbath year in which debts were forgiven, properties were reclaimed, and liberty was proclaimed to the captives. 50 years was a long time to wait, however. That's why the law, Moses, also stipulated that the nearest relative could pay the part that was still owed and thus ransom his relative much sooner." So, are they suggesting then that Jesus has ransomed us for sin? I think that's what they're trying to say. I think that's, and of course, we believe that. He has come, and he's come to ransom us. The Bible uses that metaphor. But what does it actually mean, ransom us from sin? What does that mean? Did you have to pay a price to Satan? If you use the metaphor, we're enslaved to somebody, and you have to pay that person in order to get the slave free. That's what was happening in Israel. Did Jesus have to pay a price to Satan to free us from sin?
It says, pay the part that was still owed.
Pay the part that was still owed, which is a death penalty. So he had to come pay that death penalty to Satan? Or did he have to pay it to God to purchase the right to buy us back? God had to have the death penalty so that he could give the legal right to purchase us. What's required to actually deliver us from sin?
Healing.
Healing. Well said. Well said. Sin has to be removed from the sinner. That's what has to happen. Is sin physical? Molecular? Biological? Can we find a virion that if we can remove that, then we're all going to be sin-free? Sin is, according to Scripture, transgression of and the question is?
What law?
What law? That's exactly right. What law? If we have the design law view, lies believed break the circle of love and trust, resulting in fear and selfishness. Adam and Eve believed the lies, they changed themselves, they became filled with fear and selfishness. Thus, every human being since them is born in sin, conceived in iniquity, Psalms 51:5, with a condition they didn't choose, terminal condition, that without remedy results in death. So in order to be saved, that condition has to be addressed or resolved. So what's needed when you understand lies, believe, break the circle of love and trust, and results in this condition, what's needed is truth to destroy the lies and win to trust, and a sinless human nature, a new human character. We become, through trust, partakers of the divine nature. No longer I live, but Christ lives in me, Galatians 2:20. So if you understand the price that was necessary, truth to destroy lies, and a new sinless human nature character, in order to heal and fix us, who receives those? We do. So to whom is the price then paid? To us. Just like a person dying of renal failure and you donate a kidney, you're not paying a price to the hospital or the insurance company or the healthcare administration. You're paying that price to the person. You're giving them your kidney. Christ gave us his life so that we could be partakers of his life. Yeah, that's what happened. So this is design law. This is reality, that we are sick and we need actual healing. There's nothing legal going on in this process. Third paragraph, the very next paragraph reads, "The nearest relative also was the one who guaranteed that justice was done in the case of a murder. He was the avenger of the blood who would pursue the murderer of his close relative and punish him." Are they saying that if we refuse to let Jesus heal us, that he will then take the role of avenger and kill us, so that just punishment is meted out? Or maybe they're saying that Jesus will use his power to punish, torment, and kill Satan and anybody who abuses us or mistreats us. That he took the punishment from his Father at the cross, and therefore he doesn't have to punish the rest of us, but for those who won't allow him to substitute his punishment for us, then he will punish all the abusers in the end. This is a very common theory, because we and many others have been so effective in eviscerating the fraudulentness of the penal substitutionary atonement model with an angry, wrathful God who's lashing out and a son who's pleading with them. New theories of penal substitution are coming out now, which are endorsing the idea that God is not wrathful and he's not angry and he's not lashing out emotionally. He's not lashing out with anger. No, he's not. In fact, they talk about how the Godhead is united together and that God did not lash out at his son in anger or wrath. He punished him for justice sake. Without wrath, dispassionately, not with anger, in fact with love, but the law required him to kill his son for us. Still have God as the executioner, still have a God who is the source of death, still have a God who must use his power to inflict pain and death, but he does it now dispassionately, not wrathfully. This is the new theory that is being put forth. I think it was just put forth recently at the Adventist Theological Society. And this is what happens when you continue to operate on the false platform, God's law functions like human law. They're doing it as a reaction to feminist theology, and feminist theology looks at the cross as a justification for abusing the disempowered. That Christ did not stop abuse, and that we have divine child abuse going on with a father abusing a son angry in anger and wrath, and the historic ways that is presented has led to this. And so feminist theology comes back and rejects the idea of the cross necessary for salvation, and so this is now going, no, he's not wrathful, he's not angry. The Trinitarian view, they're all united, it was just for justice sake. But this is the kind of arguments you get into when you don't understand design law, when you don't understand reality, when you don't understand there's actually a condition that needs healing.